Sarasota, Florida was named #2 best places to live for families in 2023 in Florida.
We're gonna break down why, and we're getting started right now. So as you can see, it was rated overall in Florida best places #9, just to live in general, but for families #2. And I think there's some very specific reasons for that. And we'll talk a little bit more why in a second, but let's break down the little mini article that they have. It says, ranking #9 in the overall best places to live list, Sarasota is better known as a highly desirable place to live among retirees than growing families, which historically it absolutely has. I think that's very true, right?
Yes.
It says, though both populations can find plenty of appeal. And I think having so many retirees kind of also makes it desirable for families.
Yes.
Because generally retirees are, retired and relaxed and in a good mood, positive, and also
it makes the city safer because everyone is just chill, relaxed. There's not, a lot of young people, partying all the time or causing mischief.
Yeah, those darn youngins. Those wild, rambunctious young punk kids. I'm just kidding. So anyways, the average age in the Sarasota metro area is 52.9 years, and it ranks #1 on the US News Best Places to Retire in 2021 and 2022 list. And I kind of wonder where it ranked last year. It's probably pretty dang close to #1, honestly, for retiring. Of the categories considered for the best places to live in Florida for families list, Sarasota's highest score comes from its low rates of property crime and murder, which we just said, and with solid scores for air quality. Definitely could see that.
Yeah.
It doesn't have quite as much of that big city smog, and there's not a lot of factories and stuff like that, so that probably helps. And not quite as much of there is some traffic backups on 75 during rush hours, but it's not on the level of, let's say, a Chicago or a New York or a Miami or a Los Angeles.
Yes.
So that probably helps. With solid scores for air quality and college readiness among high school students and general well-being based on Share Score Community Well-Being Index. So the school thing, I think, is an important thing to talk about.
Yes, definitely. Sarasota has highly ranked schools in the country, and a lot of families have actually decided to move to the Sarasota area considering they have kids in school, so they want them to grow up in that county and be able to attend the district because the schools here are very, very well known. Yeah,
and I've seen a few different ranking, websites and publications and stuff. A lot of times Sarasota sits #2. Another thing, the general well-being. I think that's another thing, So obviously school is important, low crime is important when you got a family. You want to feel safe, you want to know that your kid's getting a good education, but just well-being and happiness. And I think this is for the whole family. Mm-hmm. And I think this is where Sarasota really shines. I mean, obviously that other stuff as well. And, the healthcare system, that's another thing we didn't mention. Really, really good for healthcare. Sarasota Memorial is one of the top ranked hospital systems or medical systems in the United States. But as far as well-being just on your day-to-day basis, I think Sarasota does well because it has a very nice blend of urban yet sort of nature feel, when you consider the different parks, the surrounding cities, the beaches, of course.
And walkable downtown Bayfront area as well.
Yeah, and lots of activities for the kids, all kinds of different, soccer, sports, all that kind of stuff. There's plenty for them to do as far as that goes, plenty of parks, lots of walking trails. So I think that definitely helps a lot as well. And then also, the different things to do in the surrounding areas. You can get to Disney World, and Universal Studios is probably a little bit further, but Disney World you can get to in about a 2-hour drive. You can get to Universal Studios and SeaWorld area. Probably you're talking 2 hours, 15 minutes, 2.5 tops, I would say. I think downtown is 2.5, and that's a little further away. So I guess it depends on traffic.
Yeah. Also, Busch Gardens in Tampa. A lot of kids love going there, and the zoo in Tampa as well. Big Cat Habitat.
Yep.
It's there.
And Big Cat Rescue is in Sarasota. Habitat, I think, is in Tampa. I always mix the two up. You've got the John Ringling Museum, lots of art museums, culture as far as arts and things like that, which generally a lot of people think of more as for retirees or adults, but some of that stuff, a lot of kids gives them something to do. You got the Moat Aquarium, which we went to, and that was really fun. We were super impressed. We thought, okay, this will be pretty cool because we had our nephew with, and this will probably be pretty fun. But actually, it was really fun.
It was fun for us.
Yeah, and so that's highly recommended from us. And then also
the Mayaca State Park too.
Yeah. Oscar Scherer State Park to the south too is really, really
Warm
cool.
Mineral Springs in Northport, which is about a 35 to 45-minute drive.
And then where we live, Venice, you've got the beaches with all the shark's teeth galore that you can find, prehistoric shark's teeth, and lots and lots of seashells. We've got tons of parks in Venice as well. So, you know, just this whole county and area, I think as a whole, is really, really well suited for a family, for kids, and for adults.
Especially if you want to be active and you want your kids to be active.
There's a very community-centric vibe to Venice and Sarasota and all the cities nearby. And then I think also, you know, we haven't even talked about Lakewood Ranch.
Yes.
I mean, Lakewood Ranch is like Pleasantville to the max. It is super suburban, well-maintained, well-manicured, sidewalks, street lights, you know, all the stuff that you want.
Yeah, there is the 2 different downtowns and a third one coming. There is a lot of different housing opportunities if you want to be in a condo, if you want to be in a villa, if you want to be in a single family home. And also just being able to drive to all those areas that we mentioned before from Lakewood Ranch. It's a great place to be for families because of that.
Yeah, and then on top of all that too, when you're talking families, you're gonna want like other stuff to do as far as like shopping and restaurants. Well, Sarasota does a really, really good job on this. There's multiple malls in Sarasota. Probably the best and most well-known though would be the UTC Mall and all the shopping around there.
Yes.
All the shopping and restaurants in the downtown, which is super walkable. And then the other downtowns, like she said, you know, you got the different Lakewood Ranch ones, you got Siesta Key Village, you got your St. Armand Circle, and all that just gives you so many different places to go and do stuff and like keep yourself entertained and find something for everyone in the family to do. And I think that's really important.
And also Sarasota County as a whole has a lot of different events throughout the year,
Yes.
family-oriented, retiree-oriented, you name it, we have it.
We talked about all that and didn't really even talk too much about like one of the biggest draws to what brought a lot of people to Sarasota to begin with, which is world famous Siesta Key Beach. That beach is probably one of the most kid-friendly beaches you're gonna find in the United States. Number one, the sand is cool to the touch, even on a hot day, and it's like powdered sugar, fine and white, and just, you can't even see the grains, it's so fine. Then on top of that, the water is clear, so it's easy to kind of see what's in the water for kids that might be a little scared. It's almost like a big pool. But on top of that, I think the best thing for kids is it's a super gradual drop off. So like they can go out into the waterways, you know, you're not gonna lose track of them getting too deep, you know, with them, you know, you just turn around for a second and they're like, you know, almost drowning or whatever.
Or there's a big wave coming their way and knock them off.
And that's the other thing too, there's generally not as many waves. I mean, after or before a storm, sometimes a little bit more, but
yeah, overall, it's a very calm beach, and a lot of people, myself included, that's my favorite beach because of all those reasons. And the sand, like sometimes with it being so powdery, like it can get annoying if it's, you know, if it's a little windy, but if it's not windy, it doesn't get everywhere, which is the part that I don't like, when it just like gets everywhere and starts blowing.
Even then though, it takes like it's gotta be a pretty strong wind for that to happen.
Yes.
And there's also even like by the beach too, like a whole playground area and things like that for the kids. So like the whole city, I feel like they've got something for everyone of all ages, and I think that's why it's probably, you know, number 2 in Best for Families. Should have been number 1. I don't know what they were thinking, but you know, can't win every battle. Yeah.
If you want to buy or sell a home in the Sarasota area, make sure to get a hold of our team, 941-221-1897. Whether you're looking to move in the next few days or the next few months, we'll always have your back.
Call or text at any time. If you want to know more about life in Sarasota, check out this playlist. We've got a whole bunch of videos for you there that'll help you get a more well-rounded idea of what the city is about. And subscribe and turn on all notifications to catch the newest videos about what's happening in the area, about what it's like living here, and all the new things coming.
Make sure to hit the like button and
Live breezy.